A new constitutional commission has been appointed to conduct a comprehensive review of the Constitution and the Bahamas, that is, and to recommend changes to the Constitution in advance of the 40th anniversary of independence next year. Tonight, Janaea Noel Ferguson tells us that Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie revealed some aspects of the Constitution which the committee is expected to review.
As the Bahamas prepares to celebrate its 40th birthday next year, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie says, now is a perfect time for us to review our Constitution. To that end, a commission has been appointed and will make recommendations to the government on or before March 31st of next year.
It is anticipated that the new commission will pay particular attention to the need to strengthen the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, including the need to end gender-based discrimination against women, consistent with United Nations conventions and more enlightened views that have developed globally since the attainment of independence.
This matter was put to the public before and rejected in 2002. Prime Minister Perry Christie noted that there are other difficult citizenship-related questions that will also be under review, including the provision that regulates the relationship between centers of state power and the individual.
This will be done with a view to affording greater individual protection against abuses of power, while at the same time ensuring that the collective security needs of the citizenry as a whole are not unduly compromised by the pursuit of individual liberty in a democratic society. Complex questions relating to the retention and enforcement of capital punishment are expected to arise for consideration in this context as well.
And will the Bahamas remain a constitutional monarchy or evolve into a republic? Well, Mr. Christie says this will receive close attention, as well as whether or not the Bahamas will have a final court ridding itself of the Privy Council. The Prime Minister added that the political landscape will also come under scrutiny, and the Commission is expected to review these issues.
Whether there ought to be constitutionally fixed dates for general elections, whether there ought to be fixed term limits for prime ministers and members of parliament, whether the electorate should be vested with limited rights to recall their members of parliament, whether the Senate, being an appointed body, should be constituted differently to encapsulate a broader cross-section of national interests, whether eligibility for service in the Senate should be lowered from 30 to 21, the same age that applies to the House of Assembly, whether the Senate should even be retained at all is also to be considered, whether the unqualified right to free speech enjoyed by legislators needs to be modified so as to give the individual citizen either a limited right to reply to defamatory attacks made against him in Parliament, or a right to seek redress against the offending legislator in a court of law. Whether the constitutional power and authority over criminal prosecutions now vested in the Attorney General should be transferred instead to a constitutionally independent Director of Public Prosecutions with security of tenure.
The nation's leader said that all of these issues are expected to be put to the people in the form of a referendum to secure the relevance of law of the land. A website will also be launched to help to keep the public informed while providing an outlet for the exchange of opinions and ideas from the public. Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS News.